Hello everyone and welcome to another video of this amazing channel. I'm the Anime Sensei and today I decided to bring you guys a video about Jujutsu Kaisen. I know that Jujutsu Kaisen is long gone, but it was a great anime with a lot of awesome moments. And I personally want the next season now. I know that we will get a movie, but it will be the adaptation of the volume 0, if I'm correct, and it will be more about Yuta, if I'm not mistaken. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it will be bad or something, but I'm not here to talk about the movie, I'm here to talk about epic moments from the anime. And to start things off, we have one of the moments where Gojo Satoru flexed his strength. Well, that's always, but moving on. I'm not talking about when Gojo and Sukuna first appeared, I'm talking about when Gojo used his domain expansion. It all happened when Jugo the Vulcan head curse used his domain expansion, and Gojo was explaining this kind of stuff to Itadori. Jogo showed immense strength, his domain expansion seemed to be very powerful. But of course, our dear Gojo sensei with his overpowered ability used his own domain expansion. That literally obliterated Jugo's domain expansion. It was beautiful. Gojo lifting his N-band thingy, I don't know the name of that thing that he uses to cover his eyes, but it doesn't matter. What matters is his beautiful blue eyes. Screw Kakashi. Gojo Satoru, what a man. And when you think about Void, because that's what Gojo's domain expansion is, you think about a complete nothing, just black. However, it was beautiful, and even the curse was impressed. Quoting what he said, "I can feel and see everything." It truly was a demonstration of power by Gojo Satoru.
領域に対する最も有効な手段。こっちも領域を展開する。相性とか呪力量にもよるけど。領域展開。無料空所。
Another epic moment happened with Nanami. First of all, I don't get it why a lot of people like him. I'm not saying that I dislike Nanami, but when I look at him, I don't see a guy that female weebs would simp for. Come on, he's not a Gojo or a Megumi. But there are actually a lot of girls that simp for Nanami. But he is very strong and a kind guy too, and also doesn't like to work extra hours. And one of the times that he showed his strength was when he fought against Maito, and this scene is awesome and at the same time funny if you think about it. Because Nanami gained, let's say, a power-up after his working hours were over. People make memes about Itadori for gaining power by eating fingers, but Nanami gains power by working extra hours. I don't know why it works like that. Maybe it gets stronger because usually get paid more when you work extra hours. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but he definitely got a boost in power. Even Maito said that his cursed energy changed. And Nanami runs everywhere using his ability, what was it called, the 7-3 or something like that. I just know that he can make precise cuts on his opponents. And he also destroyed the place where he was fighting against Maito.
ここからは時間外労働です。合格呪法ガラガラ。なんて
パワー。いやそれより重力が走った。破壊した対象に重力を込める拡張術式。相打ち覚悟の広域攻撃。これはさすがに。
This next moment, I don't want to say that it was great because it was more sad than anything else. I'm talking about the moment when Maito turned Junpei into a disfigured creature, and Itadori pleaded Sukuna to help him. And Itadori will give Sukuna something that will benefit him. Anything. And we all were expecting for Sukuna to accept it. That is what always happens when there are demons and evil creatures, but he refused to help Itadori, and both Mahito and Sukuna start laughing at Itadori's despair. However, what makes this scene epic are two moments that happen after. The first one being when Itadori delivers a well-deserved punch to Mahito and says everything that I said until now seemed like a lie, but what I'm about to say is coming from the depths of my heart. I'm going to fucking kill you. We see Itadori for the first time really pissed off, and that line really showed the emotions behind it. The other moment that made this scene epic wasn't when Mahito was being pummeled by Itadori and Nanami. It was great and well deserved, but it wasn't what made this scene awesome. It also wasn't when Mahito learned how to use his domain expansion. It was when Itadori entered Mahito's domain expansion to help Nanami, who was trapped inside. And because Mahito's ability is to touch the soul of his opponent, and inside his domain expansion is guaranteed to touch the soul of his adversary, so Mahito was touching Itadori's soul, but Itadori has Sukuna inside him, so touching Itadori's soul means you're also touching Sukuna's soul. And Mahito tried that at the beginning of the fight, but Sukuna warned him because they laugh at Itadori's despair together and he will let it slide. But when Itadori entered Mahito's domain expansion, he touched his soul again and Sukuna severely sliced Mahito. It was awesome because even if Sukuna isn't at his full power, he showed who really is the strongest curse around here. He showed how superior he is.
こんなもんかな。残念、効かないよ。魂の形を保って。殺してやる。さっさと変わんなよ、スクナにさ。
俺の魂に触れるか。分をわきまえろ、知れ者が。
The next moment is the best out of all the epic moments that I'll talk about in this video. This time, this moment showed how in sync Itadori, Nobara, and Gojo are. It was when Itadori thought that a girl was flirting with Megumin. I know this isn't an epic scene, it was just a funny scene at the end of the episode, but I think it was very funny and it was good to show the relationship between characters. So Itadori was running towards Nobara and Gojo, who were resting under the shade, and Itadori tells them that a girl is flirting with Megumin. And both Nobara and Gojo also get alarmed. And the three of them go running towards Megumin, and Gojo just needed to say formation B, and Itadori and Nobara knew what they needed to do. They go up to Megumin and start to pretend to have various types of relationships with Megumin. Even Gojo pretends to have a weird relationship with Megumin, and Gojo's moment was the cherry on top. He was pretending to be Megumin's violin teacher and started to say that everyone was destroying Megumin's career and their relationship. It was very funny. And in the end, the girl was just asking Megumin how she could get to the train station.
今暑くて何もする気が起きない。
シグロが逆乱されてる。
フォーメーション B。
承知。
シグロビュー。何よその女。
俺といる時が一番楽しいってあれは嘘だったの。
何？マジで何？
気安く触らないでもらえるかしらん。泥棒猫ちゃんたち。めぐみちゃんはこれから私と一緒にバイオリンのお稽古なのよ。帰るわよ、めぐみちゃん。今日こそキラキラ星をマスターしてもらうわん。
駅はここまっすぐです。
ありがとうございます。
でマジでなんすか。恥ずかしいんでやめてもらえます。説明。
And moving on, but not from Fushiguro. In the last episodes, we have Fushiguro Megumin using his domain expansion. Since Sukuna said that Fushiguro had a hidden potential, we all have been waiting for him to do something amazing, and that finally happened. I have to admit, a bit too soon, but that happened. When he for the first time was really taking things seriously, and for the first time he lets go and fights with everything he got. Fushiguro uses the main expansion and a black mud appears and creatures start to pull the curse for the mud. And the animation, amazing. I wished that the whole anime was animated with like that scene. That scene was really an epic moment with a beautiful animation.
領域展開観光暗影帝不完全ブサイクのいいとこだだが今はこれでいいもっと自由に広げろ術式の対策を不意のお前を貫くくらいわけないさ
People can compare Nobara with Sakura all they want, but I have to say, Nobara isn't useless like Sakura. Nobara can fight and deal a lot of damage to her opponents, and she showed how determined and strong she is in the last episodes. Even if Itadori showed his strength and all, that last fight was Nobara's moment, and no one can steal that from her. That fight was really well made. It was almost like an AMV. That great soundtrack, the transitions, it was beautiful, and their pose, beautiful, just beautiful. The animation was great and the angles were so well used. The scene where we are looking at Nobara a little below her with that ugly creature behind her, it was a moment fitting a goddess. It was almost like she was deciding if the curse that Ding deserved to live or not, and then she snaps her fingers and the curse is pierced by a big ass nail and blood goes everywhere. I was seeing that scene and screaming, Nobara, my goddess, step on me please. And I know I wasn't the only one. I have to admit, Maki, Mai, Miwa, they are all great, but I'm a freaking Nobara simp. And after that last fight, my love for Nobara increased even more. And that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, leave a comment down below saying which is your favorite Jujutsu Kaisen moment, because there are other moments that I could potentially put on the list on this video. For example, when Sukuna first appeared, it was a great moment. And the most important thing, guys, subscribe to the channel. You can always change your mind later. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. So keep watching anime and goodbye.